Hey everybody, it's Pika over here, calling in live from Singapore. Unfortunately, it's the middle of the night. It is technically Friday morning at 2 o'clock. Um, it was a pretty damn good day. It was very interesting. I jam-packed it a little bit, so instead of just doing work in school and coming home, I actually had a bunch of things I had to do. So, as you all know, we have a wedding coming up this Saturday, and I kind of panicked and left everything to the last minute, which is not uncommon for me. I tend to do that a lot. I didn't really have anything to wear, mostly because this is the first time I'll be at a wedding, and I don't have to wear a traditional sari because it's not a temple wedding. It's an ROM instead, so I get to wear Western clothes. Um, So, okay, let me start at the beginning. I usually start my day with a gratitude, and I did, only it was late this morning. So, what ended up happening was we woke up late. She was scrambling, I was scrambling. We got dressed for school and work, dropped her off at school, and then decided to do the gratitude, which was great. And I told you all a little bit about what I had going on today. And from there, I ran off to work, um, got to work, didn't really have a lot to work on. I was kind of brainstorming how to go about writing ads and what I could be working on next. And then suddenly it was time to get up and go off to meet someone I've been a fan of for a little while now. So let me just give you a little bit of background on this. I've been following La Salsera Cubana for, I don't know, several months now. And she is a crystal healer. She's a Reiki expert. She draws tarot cards, and mostly, if you look at her her Instagram page, she basically pulls a tarot card, not tarot. I'm sorry, oracle card, at least once a day. And I've become a big fan of oracle card readings and using them as like a guidance chip for whatever's going on in my life. So I have found that while there are many, many different types of tarot and oracle card people who pull all of these things on a daily basis, only a few of them really vibe with who I am. So I think there are only like 3 people right now that I really, really follow. It used to be Dorian Virtue, and she used to actually pull cards every so often, and it would be very, very helpful to me. Lately, she doesn't pull as many cards. She gives you, guidance, but it's not really in the form of a card. It's mostly like a quote here and there or a feeling that she conveys. So right now, the only people I really take seriously are La Salsera Cubana, Nailea Guerrero, and Angelic Healing by Danica, I believe is the handle name, but I'm not sure if I got that right. It's something to do with Angelic and Danica. So those are the 3 accounts I really follow and really, really resonate with how they pull, what they say. And I had the distinct pleasure to actually meet up with La Salsera Cubana. She happens to be based out of Hong Kong, and a couple months ago I found out that she posted something and it was tagged to a location, and I was like, hey, yo, she's in Singapore. I didn't realize that. So I wrote to her and I let her know, hey, I'm in Singapore. If you're ever around, let me know. I'd love to meet up for coffee or something. And we tried a couple times, kind of missed each other. She was busy, I was busy, couldn't get it together. And then last week, she let me know, hey, I'm going to be in Singapore. Why don't we meet up for lunch? And I'm thinking, holy cow. It wasn't even last week. I think it was earlier this week. I think it may have been like Monday or something that she messaged me. And I'm thinking, lunch. Okay, depending on where she is, what hotel she's staying in, what her schedule looks like, what times, because lunch is easy to manipulate. I just need to make sure that, we do these things on time. So she messaged back and told me, yes, Thursday's fine, lunchtime is perfect, she's staying at such and such a hotel. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's a pretty central location. It's not really close to where I am, but it's somewhere where the area that she was staying in is an area I'm quite familiar with. And for those of you who don't know me, I tend to get lost pretty easily, so sticking to like known routes is probably the best bet for me. So when she told me where she was and what was going on, how it was working out, I picked a place I knew very, very well, obviously. I picked Grand Hyatt. She mentioned that she really, really likes Asian food and she'd like to stick to Asian food. I was thinking, whoa, well, let's see here. What is the best Asian food restaurant that I could take her to and, have her enjoy herself? So I picked the Straits Kitchen. It's the best buffet in Singapore for Asian food. It's very well known for that, actually. And yeah, made a reservation. Suddenly I was feeling like an adult and I made a reservation. It's the first reservation I've ever made, actually, for myself. So it was kind of cute. I met up with her today, sat down to talk, and it's like from the moment we sat down till the moment we parted ways, we had so much to say. It was amazing. I loved it. There was so much that we had to say, and I felt like I learned a lot from her. Now, I am more spiritual than religious. I do take into account things that happen, which often appear by random, but I feel like they're not. They're meant to remind me of what I'm chasing, of whether I'm on the right path or not. It's meant to guide me every step of the way. And for the most part, for during the course of my life, I've always taken those cues or signs from movies and music and random conversations, things that kind of realign me to who I need to be, where I need to be, what I'm supposed to be doing. And only lately has it been oracle cards. So to sit down and talk to her and see what her guidance system has been, what her story was like, where she's from, how she got to where she is, why she does what she does. Super, like, hair on the back of my neck prickled, goosebump, exciting. That's how like intense this conversation was. And her her own story kind of inspired me to be a little more optimistic about the things going on in my life currently, to not be so afraid of this twin flame journey, to basically keep the faith and keep going. Just keep going. And I want to talk to you about alliances based on this meeting. It's not the first meeting that I've had like this. There have been so many others. I mean, I've talked to you about many of them already, but not in the sense that it's almost hair-raising. Some of the things that I have come into contact with as far as, chance meetings, people that have reached out and have reached back, it's phenomenal. Never underestimate the power of a conversation, which is why I keep telling y'all, look, text is cool, liking people's pictures, awesome, great, whatever, but nothing, and I repeat, nothing beats a face-to-face conversation. If you can't get face-to-face, the next best thing is that audio. You need to hear that person's voice. You need to hear, the intonations and the stresses in the way they say things, how they say things, what they're saying, in order to get the full meaning of what they're trying to convey. So, like I said, this particular meeting was... I think I made a friend for life, you guys. Seriously. It's one thing to like each other's pictures. It's one thing to comment and them comment back. To meet them in person, it's amazing. It is amazing. I love the fact that I've built such a network on a social media space. But it's even better when you find out the world isn't as huge as you think it is. That people really do exist. People are who they say they are online. Obviously, you're going to meet a bunch of phonies too. I'm not going to say that you don't. But yeah, I love it when I find people that are on the same journey as I am, that are on the same kind of path that I am, that are awakened on the same energy level that I am. I love that. There's nothing better than that, I'm telling you. So, La Salsera Cubana, amazing, amazing, amazing energy. Loved the way we connected. looking forward to what this relationship will bring in the future. Just seriously, like, I've got this huge grin on my face. I'm sitting, seriously, literally sitting in the middle of my room at 2:15 in the morning, thinking about how amazing this conversation was. Now, there are a couple others that I want to bring up as well. Um, I can't quite remember how I met her. I think I was part of the Six Figure Army, and she just happened to, post something in the group chat and said something to the effect of, I am a coach, but I'm having a little bit of difficulty deciding what I need to do next, and I don't want to hire a coach. I don't want to, because I'm not sure where I want to go or how I want to go. I don't know what I need to do next. And just reading that somehow kind of like struck a nerve with me, and I was like, you know what? We need to have a conversation. So yes, I am a coach. I am well qualified to sit there and talk to you and see if I can't get you to clarify what it is you want to do. I'm good at that. I really am. I can help you dream a little bit better. I can help you, decide what it is you need to be doing next. But basically, from what she said, I wasn't trying to and she was very clear. I don't want anyone to pitch me. I don't want anyone to sell me on what their coaching packages are, blah, blah, blah. I just need a little clarity. And I was like, well, yeah, shoot, I could do that. And I love the conversations where someone asks to connect and you respond with, yeah, okay, I can, but you don't have any expectations. You don't have any plans on how the conversation is going to go. You're just kind of open to a connection of some sort. So we planned it out, set a time, date, blah, blah, blah. Got on the phone, and it was just amazing to connect to another woman who was just trying to get to that next level, and they weren't sure what that was. I wasn't sure what I could offer them, but I knew that, shoot, the least I could offer is a 30-minute conversation. So we spoke, we opened up about, where we've been, who we are, what we're trying to accomplish, and I'd like to think I was able to help her clarify. It was a great conversation, and she has an amazing group as well called Own It, Crush It, and she's very, very interacting within the group. I've learned a lot from her, and she happens to be an expert in LinkedIn marketing. Now, I'm not an expert in any kind of marketing. I just do what I do and hope it all works out. My first love is Instagram. I'm learning to work on Facebook a little bit more. I've been on Facebook a lot longer, but I'm not using it the way I am Instagram. So I'm learning, it's evolving, but I also know that eventually I'm going to need LinkedIn. So now I talked to her, I don't know, maybe two months ago, maybe 3 months ago, and after that conversation, she kind of went full force into her Facebook group, and she's doing phenomenal things. She's inviting speakers. She's pushing through a little bit further on, the kinds of things that she wants to do, and the options that we spoke about was enough for her to be re-inspired in her business and kind of push forward. So I'm really happy about the kind of alliances I've made. As you all know, with the Crown for Success team, there are so many phenomenal women in there, and they all have their own different offerings. My favorites at the moment, of course, are still Vanessa out in Canada, Mia in China, who I'm working really closely with. She's got a transition coming up, so I'm really excited about that. Cheryl, oh my God, Cheryl has been very influential in the people that I've met. And then more recently, and she's not part of the Crown for Success team, Miss August Crenshaw, she invited me to be live with her on Instagram, and it was a great exchange of energy. We talked about, I think we covered a lot of subjects in the 45 minutes that we were online, and I cannot tell you how many people I've met this way. Random conversations, or somebody reached out and I reached back, and it was brilliant. Now, I will say this, not all alliances work out very well like this. Some of them, they reach out and you keep thinking, maybe they've changed or maybe they've gotten better with time. You give it some time, you reach back again, only to find out that they're really not all that they've hyped themselves up to be. I'm not going to name any names because that's just not who I am. I will give credit where credit is due, But if there is no credit to be given, I'll just let it be. So let's just say that it's someone who is very well known, or so they say. Um, they they have a I'm a celebrity because I associate with celebrities kind of mentality. And as much as they talk about, who they are and how great they are, I don't see a lot of action behind supporting all of that. A lot of the people I've spoken to, because I mean, I am in the same circles as they are. A lot of the people I've talked to, without even bringing that person's name up, he will pop up and they will kind of confirm the suspicions I've had. And I feel badly because he has the potential, but he's really not living up to it. And I feel kind of sorry for him. So, obviously, he has no idea who he is because I'm being very vague about this, but it's my hope that he kind of breaks out of this childish habit he has and really puts his voice to good use. I'll leave it at that. So, for someone who thinks he's so great, he doesn't seem to respect everyone. He seems to look down his nose at some people, and it's quite sad. I've never quite met anyone like him. That's a lie. I do know a couple people like him. There are certain, it's a characteristic that shows up in certain people, and as much as I would love to be helpful to him, he's one of those energies I need to avoid because I don't see how he could lift himself by being around me, and I don't see how I could keep my my momentum by being around him. So he's one of those people that every so often I'll reach back and be like, hey, how are you? What are you up to? Just to see if maybe, he's ready to be the person he should be or could be. And every time he's proven me wrong. So I will leave him as he is and let him do his thing. And as much as he wanted to inquire and ask me what I'm doing, how am I doing it, what exactly am I, building, and how can he be part of my empire? Like, yeah, homie, I don't think you're ready. And that's why I'm really vague with you as well, because I'm not about to tell you what I'm doing so that you can, cop my swag or detract from what I'm doing, or, put me down so you can look better. I'm just going to let it be, and you'll just see what I'm doing when I'm done doing it. I'm going to leave it at that. So on your journey, you will find people that are super, super suited to who you are, where you're going, and they will lift you as you lift them. It'll be a mutual arrangement. It'll be gold. And then there are some of those people that you feel like, yeah, I could help you. And then as you talk to them, you find out, yeah, being with me, it would elevate your game a little bit more than, it wouldn't be so reciprocal. It would be one-sided, and that's not the kind of alliance you want either. At the end of the day, your reputation does matter. Your integrity does matter. And to be aligned with people who are on the same path as you, or at least have the same values that you do, is really important. One day, when my brand is established, when I have a product or a service, I don't ever want to spend my time apologizing for quality. I would rather explain the price once to you because of the quality than apologize 1,000 times because of the quality. I hope that makes sense. Let me try that again. I would rather explain price once than apologize for quality over and over again. Yeah? I think you get that. So for me, it's really important that, I maintain a level of service, a level of integrity. Like, okay, for example, I'm the kind of person that if I invite someone out to lunch or dinner, I feel that it's my responsibility to pick up the check, because I don't know what your bank account looks like. I don't know if you can afford what I'm suggesting. So I'm the kind of person who I'm not going to, you suggest, hey, let's meet up for coffee or lunch, and I pick a super expensive place and then expect you to be able to pick up your side of the bill. That's not who I am at all. I hate being thrown into those situations. I've been in those situations before. So I'm the kind of person, because I know what it's like, I will not do that to you. So if I'm going to choose, for instance, the best buffet in Singapore, I'm going to make sure that I pick up the check, because it's it's the right thing to do, because I chose the location. Now, if we had a choice of locations and you chose a location as well, then maybe I'd go Dutch. But even then, if you're visiting my country, the least I could do is take the time to come out and meet you, and second of all, pick up the check, because you're basically in my house. That's the right thing to do. That's the way I feel about it. That's the right thing to do. Um, Not everybody has to feel like that. Not everybody has to do the same thing that I do. That's totally cool. But that's just how I show respect for you, and make sure that I maintain my level of service. That's the kind of person I want to be. If I tell you I'm going to meet you at a certain place, it's my responsibility to let you know from the time I leave to the time I get there where I am, what's going on, so that you're never sitting there guessing what I'm doing, guessing where I am, guessing, if I'm going to make it or not. It's my responsibility to basically manage your expectations of what's going on, so that you don't panic, so you don't freak out, so you know exactly what's going on with me. So, yeah, super excited about the alliances I've made. Very, very excited about things to come. I love connecting with people. So, as you listen to this, if you go back and listen to the replay on this, please, please drop me a line. Let me know where you are, what's going on. If you think that this is the right way to go about doing business, if you think that this is the right way to go about networking, because that's what this is. I'm networking. I am meeting people on a daily basis. I am speaking life into them just as they speak life into me. I'm trying to make connections and basically just learn from everyone that I can. If I can teach you along the way, great. And if not, that's cool too. But I want to learn. I want to continue growing in this journey of mine. And I'm super excited about what the future holds. So thank you once again to La Salsera Cubana for taking the time out of her day, because she obviously is here on business, you guys. She just came from one meeting to another and happened to have lunch free. So super excited. Very, very blessed to have met her. And yeah, looking forward to future connections with other people as well. All right, you guys, it is obviously running late, and I should probably get some sleep. I got an early day tomorrow and lots of stuff to do. Oh, yeah, so I got stuck at lunchtime, right? So this is the whole lunchtime part of my day. From there, I, ran back to work. It was amazing. I never take lunch breaks, okay? I usually run downstairs, grab Subway, come back and eat at my desk. I don't take bathroom breaks as often as I could. I know there are smokers out there that take smoke breaks every chance they get. I don't. I'm a workaholic. So for the first time, I actually left the office, went to lunch, came back super late, unfortunately. But it was well worth it, I think. So yeah, I left the office at 12:30. I got back at like 3-ish. Yeah, not proud of that, but I not proud of the fact that it took so long for lunch, but I am very, very excited about the fact that I was able to, it was nonstop talking, you guys. We really connected. And to be able to sit down with somebody for essentially 2 hours, 2 solid hours, that's pretty damn amazing. That's pretty damn amazing. So anyway, so ran back to the office, got there like 3 something, started plotting and planning for more Facebook ads, because that's what I'm working on at the moment. Left work at like 5:45, and then it was like a mad rush from there. So I ran down to her school, picked her up, ran back home, dropped all of my bags off, changed clothes because I was tired of running around in heels, and then caught a cab all the way down to Vibo City. I was supposed to meet my cousin this evening to go shopping because, like I've mentioned, there's a wedding this weekend. I have no idea what I'm going to wear. So ran around to as many shops as we could before they shut the mall down, because I honestly didn't get there until almost 8 o'clock. So we had 2 solid hours to run around, catch up with each other, look for clothes, try on clothes, and then get the hell out of there. And I think I have a couple options. I still need to like try them on tomorrow and take pictures and see how I feel about what options I do have. So yeah, like I said, the first time ever I have the option to wear Western clothes instead of a sari always. Saris are easy for me. Like, you find something fancy, you make sure you have a blouse that fits, and you're good to go. And for me, saris always feel fancy, so I'm never worried about that. The only time I have to think twice is when it's a wedding because I need to wear something a little more glitzy than normal. I love the soft saris that are a little transparent because they're super easy to wear. They flow and fall very nicely. Um, and I don't have to like stress out about it. I can wear contrast blouses and it's not a problem. But when it comes to the glitzy beadwork or glittery golden blah blah whatever, the really fancy saris, I hate the very thick ones because they don't fall very well. I'm very picky about the kind of material I wear, and then finding a blouse is the devil. So I'm kind of glad I don't have to deal with that just this once. I get to wear Western clothes one time, and then we'll see how everything else goes later. So yeah, that was the rest of my day. Got back here at like 10 something, maybe 11, and probably fell asleep. Woke up at 1 something and said, hey, I need to do the podcast. Opened up the Facebook app, started off, setting up the podcast or whatever, and then fell asleep again. And that happened a couple more times. And then finally I woke up it was like 2 o'clock and I was like, shit, I need to do this now. So, part of my struggle lately with the podcast is figuring out what to talk about and then what to name that episode of the podcast. That's probably the hardest thing in my world at the moment. What to name the damn podcast and then go ahead and start talking about it. I could start off talking and then I'll end up somewhere, but to name it first is kind of difficult to me. So that lately has been a struggle. So I'll have to be a little more diligent about choosing something during the daytime and then like writing it down so I remember by the time it comes around to actually recording the podcast. So, all right, call it an out night, and I will check in on y'all tomorrow with my live, the Gratefulness Day 15, basically. That's rolling right along too. And yeah, have a great evening or morning, whatever the case may be, and I will catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.